It's story time. The stories are real, the judgments are yours. You're invited to the second episode. Unsolved criminal conspiracy theories ready to judge? Hit the follow and subscribe button, drop your thoughts below, and enjoy! For nearly 2 decades, college-aged men across the U.S. vanished after nights out. Weeks later, their bodies were found in rivers, always ruled accidental drownings. But then detectives noticed something disturbing: graffiti of a simple smiley face near many of the recovery sites. Different states. Different rivers. Same symbol. Families described the same strange details. Their sons were good swimmers. The bodies had unexplained marks. Phones vanished. Autopsies contradicted timelines. Retired detectives Kevin Gannon and Anthony Duarte published findings suggesting a roaming group of organized killers with military-like precision. Some say the theory is too elaborate. Others say the FBI stayed quiet to avoid mass panic. As of today, no suspect has ever been named, and the smiley faces keep appearing. Christmas night, 1996. Boulder, Colorado. 6-year-old Jean-Benet is put to bed after a holiday gathering. By morning, there's a ransom note demanding an oddly specific amount, $118,000, the exact number from her father's recent bonus. Police search the house for hours before someone opens a basement door and finds Jean-Benet's body. The scene is bizarre. The ransom note, the positioning, the injuries, too elaborate for a random intruder, too strange for a simple explanation. Conspiracy theories exploded. Did someone inside the home do it and stage the kidnapping? Did a wealthy friend of the family intervene? Did influential figures pressure police into protecting powerful connections? Crucial evidence was mishandled. Detectives disagreed. A grand jury wanted to indict the parents, but the DA refused. To this day, no one knows why. Nearly 30 years later, the case remains open. On the desolate stretch of Gilgo Beach, police found bodies wrapped in burlap. Then more bodies. Then more. Many were sex workers. Many had called the same clients. One thing stood out: the killings showed discipline, familiarity with police procedure, and the ability to stay hidden for over a decade. Whispers grew that the killer was someone connected to law enforcement. The police chief at the time, James Burke, later went to prison for corruption and allegedly ordered officers to stop certain investigations. People living near the beach received taunting calls from a man using the victims' phones. He knew details only the killer would know. Though someone was arrested years later, many believe he was only one part of a larger conspiracy, and the original killer may have had inside protection. The full truth has never surfaced. 9 experienced Russian hikers trekked across the frozen Ural Mountains. Something happened in the middle of the night so terrifying that they cut their tent open from the inside and fled barefoot into a blizzard. When rescuers found the bodies, they discovered crushed chests with force stronger than a car crash, missing eyes and tongue, radiation on their clothes. No sign of struggle, no footprints except the group's own. Russian authorities quickly shut the case down, using vague explanations. People believed the truth was buried. Secret military tests? A missile that went wrong? A classified weapon? Or something not human? Decades later, the official answer remains: a compelling natural force. No one knows what that means. A woman was found murdered in her apartment, drained of blood. The killer drank from her using a gravy ladle and left no fingerprints, no tracks, nothing stolen. Police suspected multiple men, but none matched the strange ritualistic clues. Forensic experts said the killer had anatomical knowledge. Neighbors reported seeing a gentleman in black who vanished into the winter night. The case remains one of Sweden's most chilling, unsolved murders. Well-dressed man was found dead on an Australian beach. No ID. Labels removed from his clothes. Cause of death unknown. Months later, investigators found a hidden pocket sewn into the man's pants with a small piece of paper inside. Tamam shud, Persian for "it is finished." Then they found a book connected to the note with a strange code written inside. Experts, spies, cryptanalysts, no one could crack it. Rumors exploded that he was a spy involved in Cold War intelligence, and that Australian officials quietly covered up the truth to avoid exposing a larger network. His identity remained unknown for over 70 years, and even with recent DNA leads, the full story behind his death is still a mystery. A Boeing 777 with 239 passengers vanished over the Indian Ocean. Not crashed, vanished. Investigators learned the plane made a sharp turn off its flight path, flew for hours, and then dropped off radar completely. But here's the disturbing part. Military satellite data suggests the plane was intentionally flown to one of the most remote parts of the planet. Theories exploded. The pilot planned it as a suicide mission. A fire knocked out communication. Hijackers took control and landed it secretly. The plane was shot down by accident and covered up. A foreign government jammed the signal. Or the aircraft was taken for intelligence purposes. Tiny pieces of debris washed up years later, but the fuselage, the black box, and everybody remained missing. No single explanation fits all the evidence. In May 2007, 3-year-old Madeleine McCann disappeared from a holiday apartment in Praia da Luz, Portugal, while her parents were dining at a nearby restaurant with friends. The group checked on their children throughout the evening, but around 10 p.m., Madeleine's mother returned to find the apartment's window open and Madeleine gone. The disappearance immediately became one of the biggest international missing child investigations in history. Portuguese police first focused on the possibility of an abduction, then later treated the parents as suspects before eventually clearing them. Was she abducted? Did she wander off? Are any of the sightings confirmed? The case remains open and unsolved. Asha was a 9-year-old girl from North Carolina who vanished in the middle of the night during a storm. At 2:30 a.m., her parents checked on her and she was asleep. By 4 a.m., she was gone. No open doors, no break-ins, nothing. She had packed a small book bag with clothes and walked out on her own. Drivers on the highway reported seeing a little girl walking alone in the rain, carrying a backpack. One man said he stopped to help her, but she got scared and ran into the woods. That was the last time anyone ever saw her. A year later, her book bag was found buried in a plastic trash bag nearly 30 miles away, wrapped carefully like someone wanted to protect it. Inside were her clothes and a random children's book that didn't belong to her. No one knows how or why she had it. There were still no footprints, no struggle, no explanation for why a happy 9-year-old would leave her home voluntarily at 4 a.m. in a storm. Was she lured? Did she run away? Was she abducted? Was she convinced?